Hey everybody, it's Mr. G. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, spring has arrived. The cars are coming out of their winter hibernation. But this year, the Z06 is getting a little bit different treatment because we've got plans. So while I get in the car, bring it into the shop, you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be right back with you. Hey folks, this is Mr. G and welcome to Just Corvette Crazy. On this channel we talk about Corvettes, we fix some Corvettes, and we love to drive our Corvettes. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out a lot. Thanks. Alright, we're now back in the shop. I can't wait till the summertime when we finally break ground on the new shop, and we're hoping for an August start on that build. So I'm really looking forward to moving into the new shop, and I'll take you along for that ride as well. So I'm here back with the 02 Z06. I have different plans for the car this year. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be participating in some track days and some autocross events. Now I have never done that before, so this is going to be all new to me. And I'm hoping that some of you are in the same boat and we can kind of go through this all together. So I'm really excited about some of the upcoming events that are going to be happening. And as long as I get all of the stuff done to the car that I need to get done before the events, I'm hoping that we can start within weeks. So let's get started on some of the things that we have to go through with this car. Alright, so first of all, mechanical repairs. There's not a lot wrong with this car, there never has been. The only real issue that I've ever had with it is very common with the C5 Corvette, and that is a failure in the ABS module traction control device. And I've had that taken care of years ago, so the car is quite reliable. There is an issue that I want to address with this car. In 2002-2003, the LS6 engines had a yellow valve spring installed in the engine. And for some reason those valve springs were more prone to breakage than other valve springs of the era. So this still has the original valve springs. It's a low mileage car, so I wasn't ever really worried about it. But since I'm going to be taking it out onto the track and to do some track days and do some autocross, where I might be revving the engine a little bit higher than it normally does in street driving, I want to take care of that. So I've ordered some PAC 1218 racing valve springs for this car. They should be here next week. And again, I'm going to do a video on the installation of those valve springs. So it's just a preventative thing that I want to do to make sure that the car, at least the engine, is running up to full efficiency, if you will, and I don't have to worry about it. So the next thing we will be doing with the car is looking at the fluids. So obviously I've got to do my oil change, and I'm going to do it after the valve spring replacement. So I'll do the valve spring replacement first and then a full oil change. But there's other fluids as well that we have to address. I'm going to, as part of my brake service, which I'll talk about in a couple minutes, I'm going to be replacing the brake fluid with a higher temperature racing type brake fluid so that we don't have any fade if the brakes get heated up. I'll be also doing a clutch flush So basically draining the fluid out of the clutch and replacing it with some new clutch fluid. So I'll be doing that. With the brakes, I'm going to be doing a few extra things. I'm going to be pulling apart the brakes with the car over the next few weeks. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to install stainless steel brake hoses, so the flex lines. Basically the idea is under hard braking, the rubber hoses are flexing. So when you step on the brakes hard, you got a little bit of give in the walls of a rubber brake hose. So I'm going to replace them with some stainless steel braided ones so that the pedal is a lot firmer. Also, the brake hoses in this car are original, so I don't want to go into a corner, you know, at whatever speed I'm heading into that corner, 100 miles an hour, and put my foot on the brake hard and all of a sudden I blow a line. So I'm going to be doing that. At the same time, I'll be checking out the rotors and probably replacing the pads. I'll probably go with a more of an aggressive pad, and we'll see once we take the brakes apart and see what we've got left. The brake rotors look really, really good, so if I don't have to replace those right now, I won't, and we'll go with some new brake pads. But other than that, the brakes on this car are really, really good, so I'm not going to do any kind of huge upgrades. Down the road, I might put some slotted rotors on there, give it a little bit better cooling, and get rid of some of those gases, give it a firmer pedal. We'll see how it goes. All right, one really big concern that I have with this car is the age of the tires. The tires still have some tread on them, but they're old. Tires have a date code on them. Every tire manufacturer has a date code. It's 4 numbers, normally beside the DOT on your tire. And the 4 numbers represent, the first 2 are the week that the tires were manufactured, and the last 2 digits represent the year at which they were manufactured. If you are planning to do any high performance driving, whether it be track days or whether it be autocross, you do not want old tires. You do not want dry rubber. You want nice, sticky, soft rubber. It gives you a better grip, and you don't have to worry about the tires blowing out. I've seen a lot of cases where old tires, when put under load in a corner, will actually blow out because the rubber has been used up, if you will. So the rubber's flexibility has gone and the tire actually blows. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm currently pricing out some tires. My current thought is to go with the Continental Extreme Contact Sport tires. On the back is 295 35/18s, and on the front I'll be putting 255 40/17s. So that's my current thought. If anybody else has any suggestions, go ahead, put it down in the comments. I'd like to see what you're running. When you're running track days, when you're running autocross events, one of the things that really takes a beating is your paint job. You see a lot of dings in track cars in the nose of the car and on things that stick out on the side, like your mirrors, the back of your mirrors and things like that. You see a lot of stone chips, especially on the front. So you'll see a lot of people running, they take green painter's tape and they cover the nose of their car, so that they don't damage it on track days. There's a product out there, it's called track tape, and it's specifically designed to go onto areas of your car for track days. It goes on, it adds protection, it comes off nice and easy after your track day. I think what I'm going to try is I am going to get some clear Plasti Dip spray, and I'm going to Plasti Dip the nose of the Z06. And I might even do the mirrors, the back of the mirrors as well. If you put on Plasti Dip and you put on enough coats, it becomes kind of a rubbery protection that comes off. So at the end of the season or halfway through the season, I can actually pull off the Plasti Dip and put some new Plasti Dip on. So Plasti Dip comes in colors, so if you wanted to do it and you wanted to change the color of your nose or add some accents on your car, go ahead and do it. It's going to look great. I think what I'm going to do is, at least for now, I'm going to go with the clear Plasti Dip across the nose, not change the color of it. It will dull the finish a little bit. That's just the way plastic coat is. But I think I'm going to try that for when I'm out on the track and, again, doing the autocross events, so I don't have to worry about stone chips on the nose of the car. There are a few already on the car, but there's not a lot of major ones, so I want to try and keep it that way. So again, I'm going to try the Plasti Dip, and let me know what you do, because I'm always open to suggestions. Or has anybody tried the Plasti Dip before and it worked or didn't? Let me know. Now the next couple of things are less to do with the actual car than the track. So a lot of these events, especially the ones that actually happen on a track, one thing that they don't want you going on their track when you have fluid leaks. So make sure that any leaks that you have from under your engine, your transmission, your radiator, anything along those lines that is leaking, you take care of before you go to the track. Again, it's not a big deal for your car, but it actually coats the track and can ruin the days for other people. So again, make sure your car is not leaking anything when you get ready to head out to the track. And the last thing that I want to talk about is safety gear. So each track and each event, they have suggestions or requirements for safety gear. What I'm going to be running, at least for the time being, is just the regular seat belts in this car with the stock seats. I know the stock seats are not that good for track days. There's a lot of lateral movement in those seats. There are very few selection of racing type seats that are available to fit into the C5. I will look at it at a later date and replace the seats. If I really enjoy the track days and I go more often, then yes, I will replace the seats. The other thing is a helmet. So helmets, again, some events require them, some events do not require them. I'm going to be wearing a helmet anytime that I'm out on a track. It's one of those things that I just do for safety. A brain is a terrible thing to waste. So I'm going to be going out on the track. I'm going to be buying a new racing helmet before I head out for my first event. Something that is going to be current in its date. So again, check the requirements for each event you go into, because the racing helmets, motorcycle helmets, snowmobile helmets, no helmet, each event has their own regulations. So if you're going to do a variety of events at a variety of different locations, best thing to do is get yourself a racing helmet with a good certification, up to date. That way you can use that one helmet for all kinds of events. The other thing that we want to look at is shoes. You want to make sure that you wear comfortable, flexible shoes when you're on a track. Whether you get yourself a pair of those racing boots or a pair of closed-toe running shoes, something that is flexible so that your feet can feel the pedals underneath. It's very important, and you can actually quickly move from brake to gas, clutch, etc. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have good feel in your feet so that you always know what pedal you're on and where the other pedals are located. So something with a fairly soft sole so it flexes really, really well. Or you can spend the money and get yourself some racing boots. The other thing is set of gloves. There are racing gloves out there. Some people prefer gloves, some people don't. I don't know yet. I'm going to try it without gloves, and if I don't like it, then I will pick up a pair of gloves down the road. So again, it'll be choice. Well, I hope to see you out on the tracks somewhere locally this summer. Like to see some of your videos. I will be taking my camera to the track with me. I will be creating videos of me on the track and posting them on the channel. I'll also be doing some videos as I prepare the car. So I do have some parts on the way, some valve springs and a valve spring tool and some things are on the way. I will be ordering some tires and taking them down and getting the tires mounted to the rims, so that'll be done. And then I've got my oil changes and my service and the brakes and all that kind of stuff that I'll be going through, and I'll be creating videos along the way. So I hope you stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel. Take a minute. It really helps me out. So I hope to see you out on the track. Take care, everybody. Until next time, keep the rubber side down. Take care.